If you're having trouble leveling up an arc, it's most likely a skill issue, if I'm honest. A lot of you folks and folkettes, I'm all inclusive on this channel, you guys think that doing long raids or chasing PvP is how you're gonna get XP. Sure, yes, you technically can, but it's not the most efficient way to go about it. In reality, you only gain meaningful XP from doing trois things. That's 3 in Romanian, by the way. Either by extracting alive, completing repeatable objectives, and getting kills, whether that's arcs or PvP. And personally, I would avoid other people most of the time because the risk of dying is way higher. So let's stop talking theory. I'm not Bill Nye. Let's actually look at what you can do to get the most XP as fast and as consistently as possible. And as always, if you guys have tips of your own for your fellow ARC players, leave them down in the comments below. We can all use a little extra help. Now, I love making guides for you guys, but I do understand that not everybody has the time to grind. So if you just want to play, today's sponsor, u4n.com, helps you skip that and get you your loadout ready faster. So if you're interested, check the link below and use code Matt. Tell them that I sent you and they'll take real good care of you. Now, the biggest and most reliable source of XP is just by searching containers. Every time you do, you get XP for basically opening it, not even for what's inside. It's essentially charity. Regular containers like lockers, med bags, and stuff you don't have to reach give you around 200 XP. And the more valuable ones, the ones that you do have to reach open, give you closer to 500. It doesn't even matter if the container is empty, already looted, or if you even take anything out of it. The XP is just given to you because you searched it. Plain and simple. On top of that, probes give you about 500 to 700 XP each, and raider caches give you around 700. And if you loot somebody's body, that's another 500 XP right there. Now, when it comes to arcs, the small ones give you about 200 XP, like wasps and snitches, and the larger ones can give you up to around 2,000 in total. But keep in mind that, they break into multiple parts, and each of those parts have XP amounts. Like, they can have anywhere between 250 to 500 when you search them, so that's something to keep in mind. That's why dense maps are so important for XP. The more searchable objects you can hit in a short amount of time, the more guaranteed XP you're banking. You're not gambling on fights or drops, you're just locking in XP every time you interact with something. We'll also talk about which maps are best for this later, but this is the core reason scavenging routes work so well. Now, on top of that, XP is constantly generating in the background just because you're alive. It's great to be alive. From what I've learned, you can earn you do earn about 3 XP per second, which works out to roughly 180 XP per minute. This happens no matter what you're doing, fighting, looting, sneaking, even just standing. Even if you're just there vibing, you still earn the same time-based XP. The only thing that stops it is by no longer being alive, which is why not dying matters so much. It's common sense, right? So this is why I recommend shorter runs where you extract early instead of just sitting in a raid for the full 29 minutes and 30 seconds, risking everything you've already built up. And when you do actually extract alive, you also get about 1,000 to 2,000 XP. So it's honestly just free XP at the end of the raid. Look, I get that I don't have to convince you to stay alive. I'm just telling you that there's an added incentive if you do. Also, if you guys are liking this video so far, why not drop a like and a subscribe while you're at it? And if you have any ideas for other guides that you would like yours truly to make, then just drop that comment down below. Now let's talk about fighting, because there have been a few updates that have changed the returns on killing arcs and damaging them. So a lot of the heavy arcs like Bastions, Bombardiers, Rocketeers, and even the Leaper had their XP reduced from 3 XP per damage to 2. It doesn't sound like a huge difference, but over time it does add up. Of course, PvP also technically gives you high XP per damage, sometimes even higher than arcs, but the problem is how inconsistent it is. PvP just increases the chances of you dying, and you just won't get any of that extraction bonus and all the XP that you gain just by being in the raid if you can't extract. Unless you're absolutely cracked and winning most of your fights, PvP just isn't worth it if you're focusing on XP. I also want to be clear, about what does not factor into XP, because this is where a lot of people can get confused. The value of the loot you pick up doesn't matter, okay? Rarity doesn't matter. Having a full backpack doesn't matter either. When you put all of it together, it's pretty obvious why scavenging is the go-to XP method. You're doing the bare minimum, staying alive, and banking guaranteed XP over and over again. Anything outside of that adds risk, and risk is what compromises all the XP you've already earned. Now, in terms of which maps I would recommend, honestly, the best one that you should go for is Buried City, because you got places like Town Hall, Santa Maria Houses, Piazza Arbusto, Plaza Rosa. These are places that are densely packed and they're close together, so you don't have to go across open areas and risk yourself. And it's even better, especially because of the Bird City map condition, because there's a lot more lootable chimneys, and those chimneys also count as containers that you can search. So even if you don't find something to write home about, you're gonna get extra XP. And you'll see in this gameplay here that I just spent like 99% of my time in this building, in these two buildings, and I found a lot of good loot and also found a key. So, you know, it's also nice to find some valuable loot while you're farming XP. So that's why I really like Buried City. Now, keep in mind that when you have the map condition Bird City, there's going to be a lot more people, which is generally the case whenever there's a map condition on any given map. So if you do choose to go during the Bird City condition, keep an eye out for extra PvP. But either way, I would recommend Buried City for the reasons that I've already covered. Outside of Buried City, you just kind of want to look for warehouses, factories, office buildings, places that have a lot of different loot spots, and you can spend more time in them. So, you know, anytime you can search a lot of containers without going far, that's really good. Anything open, spread out, or combat focus is just not great for XP. And that just about wraps up today's video, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. If you have any further questions for me, leave those down below as well, and maybe there's a guide that you want me to make, so I'll make that too if I feel nice enough that day. Also, before I let you go, don't forget about u4n.com and use code MEH for them to treat you real good. At any rate, though, thank you all so much for watching as always, and until next time, make sure to take care.